Y'all, I have questions. I have a ton of questions about this Braxton's show. Okay. And I want you to follow me down this little rabbit hole right here. Okay. Follow me down this little rabbit hole. Now, of course, we've been talking these past couple of weeks about the Braxtons, Tamar versus Toni, Towanda, and Trina. Now, the core of this argument started with an alleged cease and desist that Tamar was sent with regards to having Ashley, their niece, on her podcast, which would be filmed for the show's second season. During this period, for those of you guys who may be a little late to the party, Ashley revealed some information, some alleged information about a husband of one of the Braxton sisters, one of her aunts, who now we know to be, or we believe to be Gabe, okay, Trina's ex-husband, about some inappropriate text or behavior of some sort, right? So she came out and revealed this. She came out online and revealed it. And fast forward to now, Tamar has her on the podcast to talk about her experiences and to talk about her healing journey. And Tamar reveals that she identifies with her because of her own experiences and her own healing journey. Now, Tamar insists that she received the cease and desist, and it seems to the viewer that she believes that it is one of the sisters who has sent her a cease and desist. Now, we're going to get to that cease and desist in just a second. The headline is what we're going to talk about first. Then we're going to go back to the cease and desist in just 1 second. So just walk with me until the end of this video, okay? Stay with me, all right? So when we see this clip right here, I'm not going to play much of it, obviously, because this is the property of WeTV. But the gist of this is that she believes that the sisters are jealous of her. Tamar says this.
I don't like me because y'all jealous. You're a mean girl.
Okay, so that's the core of the argument. I'm going to let you guys know that now. They kind of go back and forth, but Toni is basically saying, you're a mean girl. You're a mean girl. You're a mean girl. Tamar insists that the sisters are jealous of her. Then there is conversation about mental illness, right? With them saying this.
Such a hater. I hate me so bad.
Okay, she says that they hate her. She says that they're jealous of her. I have issues with this because I feel like, am I watching something real? Are they really arguing right now? Is this really happening? I mean, Tamar looks very happy in this scene. Like, I don't. But I'm gonna get to my thoughts in just 1 second.
Oh my God, girl.
So as you see this continue on, this will continue on. It will continue on. It will continue on. And then there is some commentary.
And mental illness is real. It's real.
So Toni says mental illness. She turns to the camera. She says mental illness is real. Tamar then says, so now y'all want to come for me because my anxiety and depression have come from y'all, right? Towanda indicates something to the effect that she's not going to argue with the sick person, right? Now, we do know that Tamar has told us that, and we've heard of Tamar having instances where she has been dealing with mental anxiety, maybe allegedly. I'm not going to say, well, she did say it anxiety. So I'm not going to say allegedly at this point because she says it in the clip, right? But we know that there have been other issues from her own solo show that she had as well, right? So those have been documented, right? Now, the claim that Toni would be jealous of Tamar is a bit far-fetched. I mean, I could see Tamar maybe saying that about the other sisters if Tamar had been paying for things like the down payment for Towanda's home. And when I watched the flashback scenes on different social media accounts of Tamar and Toni confronting Trina about not really doing a lot for their mom in the past, And again, these are all documented from the show, right? You know, I could see Tamar maybe saying that about Towanda and Tracy. Now, Tracy says, I mean, not Tracy. Lord, forgive me. Please forgive me, Lord. Not Tracy. God rest her soul. Trina and Towanda. I want to clarify. I could see her maybe thinking that about Trina and Towanda, but not Toni. It makes no sense to say Toni Braxton is jealous of Tamar Braxton. Not to compare the sisters. I'm just thinking about the legacy of Toni Braxton. I'm not sure what she would be jealous of Tamar for in this particular moment in their lives, right? I just don't see it. It seems odd to me. But as they talk back and forth about the mental illness of it all, what I would say is this for Tamar, I would say this. You know, a lot of people deal with anxiety and depression and, you know, in different forms, right? You know, uh, as an introvert, I have my own issues that I deal with my own anxiety and with feelings of depression at different points, particularly after losing my dad. So I can relate to what she is saying, but what I can also say is this, and it may be easier said than done. If these women, even if they are your blood relatives, if they are the source of your anxiety and depression, is this worth the check to continue to deal with them if they are the ones who are causing you so much angst? If this is truly the source of your mental anguish, then it may be best to depart from doing things with them. Clearly, you can get shows with or without them at this point. She's done the unfaithful thing. You know, she tours. You know, Tamar. So for those of you guys, I mean, I might be critical of her shenanigans at times, but I believe in Tamar. I believe in her talent. I just think that she gets in her own way, and it results in things like this, right? So my suggestion, and I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a counselor, but if it were me and I were her, I would have to make a clean cut from the things, the people, the places that were causing me this anxiety and depression that I may be experiencing. But let's take things all the way back, because that's a lingering issue that has been permeating through this show for a very long time, is Tamar's issues with her sisters. I don't know where that stems from, and I don't really have the time, energy, nor the strength to really dissect it further. My question, though, is about the cease and desist that is the source of this confrontation. I don't know if Tamar knows that we know that there was an original cease and desist that was sent to Ashley, the niece in question, when she revealed online that it was her father who was preventing her from revealing family secrets. Here's what she had to say. And I have to credit So Serious Radio, but when I did a quick Google search, Ashley Braxton cease and desist, one of the first videos that pops up is Jamie, that's me. If you don't know, definitely go to her channel. I'm going to link the video. And she discusses this at length, where Ashley reveals this. Let's talk.
Going to keep it real with you on this journey, that you were going to be in it with me, and I'm going to give you all some updates. So first update is that I got a message yesterday from my father, and
her father, okay,
and he said to zip it up tight, don't speak, I know just what you're saying, don't speak, girl. And that he lawyered up, and that I shan't speak of his name or the household and other things, etc., etc., and that he will take legal action. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop, that I'm going to.
Okay, Now, knowing what we know from this, would it not be reasonable to assume that said cease and desist could have potentially come from another source outside of Towanda, Toni, and Trina, and that family attorney could have been linked to potentially another family member as described therein in this video? For which that leads me to ask this question: did you not know, if you've talked to Ashley, if you've had these conversations with her, you've had her on the podcast, would you not also not reasonably assume that maybe the source of those cease and desist were not the people that you were sitting with? In which case, that makes this scene, the start of it, the genesis of all of this beef, null and void, because it would seem that the likely party was maybe not present at the table, and maybe that is where you should be directing your. So then that makes me feel like, is what I'm watching truly real, right? Because just a thinking person would say, based on these chain of events, who are you really upset at? Who are you really upset at? Are you really upset at them? And is that the reason why you said you don't really want to film with them? What is the reason? Now, do I believe that there is animosity, there is discord amongst certain factions of the sisters? I absolutely believe that. I believe that the core of their issues of why they are upset with each other definitely go beyond the cease and desist. But I just think that the catalyst for this scene in this instance does not really make sense anymore to me, given that we could potentially assume that the cease and desist did not maybe come from either of the three people sitting at that table. Maybe they knew about it, but maybe they didn't send it. In which case, why didn't nobody say nothing? This is I'm just following the breadcrumbs and I'm asking the questions and I'm trying to make sense of the situation because I'm invested in the show and I feel like what I'm seeing is chaotic, but is it based in anything? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna still watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna watch, support. I want to see them win, but dang, like, I just want to. I mean, can somebody help me? Just chime down in the chat. Maybe I got it wrong. I'm willing to admit I ain't always. I'm not. I'm not the type of person that think I'm always right. I don't think I am the metric for anything. I'm not holding nobody accountable or nothing like that. That is not my role. That is not my job. My job is simply to watch these shows, dissect them, ask questions, and provide commentary to my community. That is it. So I ask you, I ask you, I ask you.
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence?